The cat walked between worlds, but always returned to the same human's lap. The first time she vanished, it was between blinks. One heartbeat, cat on my windowsill, the next, starlight trembling where her whiskers had been. I left the window open anyway. Before this story begins, tap to save, and when it ends, repost it. I named her Thread because she stitched my days together. Gray as rain, eyes like coins left in a fountain. She chose my lap the week I signed the divorce papers and forgot how to boil rice without burning it. She chose me the way cats do, like a queen selecting a chair. On the 7th evening she went still, tail drawing a slow question mark. The air thinned, her fur lifted, the world's edges softened. "Don't," I whispered, not to stop her, to witness. She stepped forward and didn't touch the floor. A silver seam opened in the living room, thin as a smile you don't trust yet. She slipped through. The seam closed with the casual finality of a thought deciding itself. I sat there with my hand still hovering where her back had been, and felt a shape return to my chest I hadn't invited since childhood. Wonder, sharpened by loss. Neighbor Kavi knocked. "You okay?" Power flickered. "Cat," I said, which was not, strictly speaking, an answer. Walked through a line in the air. He peered past me. "You finally naming your grief weird things?" "Yes," I said, then softer, "maybe not." Thread was gone for 3 hours. I learned the shape of 3 hours the way sailors learn the edge of a reef. Then the seam returned, only now it smelled faintly of cold mint and dust, like a library on a mountain. Thread stepped out, shook a star off her whisker, and climbed into my lap as if she'd just used the hallway. "Where," I breathed against her ear, "did you go?" She purred. The sound felt like permission, or apology, or both. After that, it became rhythm. She would watch corners where no corners were. Ears east, then west, as if listening for tides no weather app could predict. She would leave. She would return. Always to my lap, as if the universe were impressively large, but only one chair counted. Kavi started keeping tea stocked in case of interdimensional visits. He said it as a joke, then stopped laughing when Thread brought back gifts that never quite agreed to be seen. A leaf that smelled like night rain from a planet without insects. A coin that looked like it had been melted and reminted by a slow volcano. A thin ribbon of light that went dull when it realized we were staring. "Report it," Kavi said one afternoon, hushed. "To somebody." "To who?" I asked. "The cat department?" He meant the observatory, the university, the people who put names on things and put those names on shelves. I wrote an email. I didn't send it. Instead, I practiced staying. When she left, I would settle into the chair and make myself into a lap worth returning to. I learned to breathe like patience. I learned to inhabit an empty room without filling it with noise. Once, 2 seams opened at once, one in the ceiling like a pale aurora, one low to the floor like a river about to remember being water. Thread paused between them, looked at me, and made a sound so small it barely qualified. "Whichever," I said, "I'll be here." She chose the lower one. She came back with a scar across her nose and a softness in her eyes I recognized from the mirror on ugly days. I cleaned the cut with a damp cloth she pretended to hate. She pressed her paw into my palm and didn't pull away. The observatory came anyway. Someone had seen the lights. Dr. Sal took notes, like rain takes roofs. "You understand," she said gently. "This is contact. A bridge. An ecological miracle with legs." "She's a cat," I said. "She is both," Sal said. "Let us study." "On one condition." I watched Thread watch us. "No cages, no tests that frighten. You can observe, not own." Sal's mouth tensed, then softened. "You humans," she murmured. "You negotiate with the universe on behalf of a creature that ignores you for hours." "She doesn't ignore," I said. "She trusts me to keep the chair warm." The first time Sal witnessed a crossing, she forgot to write. Thread stepped into a seam that tasted like snow and old coins. Sal reached out the way you reach for your mother's hand in a crowd. She caught herself. "Will she come back?" "She always does," I said, and realized that was faith, not certainty, choice. Why did she always return to me? Not because I was special, because I was consistent, because humans, at our best, are a stubborn kind of gravity, quiet, warm, uninteresting to wars. We are the lap you can count on when the cosmos offers you 1,000 corridors and none of them learn your name. A storm hit the city. Sirens. Flood. The seams didn't come for 2 days. Thread slept, heavy and adolescent, as if the multiverse were on hold. I sat with a blanket over both our legs. Kavi brought soup and called me ridiculous. Sal brought instruments and called me necessary. On the third night, the biggest seam yet opened, floor to ceiling, humming like a choir practicing under its breath. Thread stood, stretched, and looked at me, not asking permission, asking blessing. "Go," I said. "Come back if it's good. Come back if it's bad. Come back if it's nothing. Just come back." She rubbed her face against my wrist. Sent, signature, claim, and stepped through. She returned with a kitten. It wasn't a kitten the way ours are. Its paws flickered at the edges like it hadn't finished deciding which atoms to wear. Its eyes were too old and too new at once. It sniffed my sleeve, sneezed, and collapsed into Thread's side with a thump that had opinions about gravity. "Congratulations," Kavi whispered from the doorframe. "Grandparenthood." Sal wiped her eyes and pretended not to. "This is beyond." Thread climbed onto my lap, with the kitten shoved against my stomach like an offering. She kneaded once, twice, then settled with the full weight of worlds and the simple animal fact of a purr. I cried then, because we make temples out of couches and vows out of habits, and sometimes the universe admits it noticed. Humans aren't special because we master the map. We're special because we keep a chair warm at the window, and when the traveler returns, with scars, with miracles, we make room. I poured my soul into crafting this story, just one ask. Repost it, and drop one word in the comments, home. Then tell me, what story should I bring to life next?